Hey guys, Tim here. Uh, this video is gonna be a lot more serious than pretty much anything else I've done and anything I really do, but I've been thinking about this lately and I needed to be vocal about it and just, get it out there. So, this video, I wanted to talk about anxiety and depression and, what people think it's like versus what it's actually like. And let me just put it out there now. And I suffer from, I'm not like major, like I don't take medication. I'll get to that later. But yeah, I have, mild anxiety and slight depression. Like, what I mean by slight depression is like, normally I'm fine, like I'm in a good mood, but then I just have days where either I, just feel worthless or I'm meh, I'm sure most of you can relate. You just have days where you just like, don't really have a feeling about anything. And once in a while I'll have attacks, like depression attacks, kind of like anxiety attacks. I'm sure there's a breakdown. That's a better word for it. Like I'll just hit a low, like every once in a while. I'll hit a low where I just feel completely worthless and that nothing matters. And thank God I have somebody like Kate, who can, or Caitlin, however people know her. Anyway, I'm glad I have her, there to, bring me back down or bring me up, I should say. Just bring me up and, make my life worthwhile. And, the anxiety, like my anxiety I have, and this might be part to a little bit of like ADD, or the bit of ADD I have. My anxiety, basically, it really affects like public situations. Like, normally I'm a pretty social person, but a lot of times, like, I'll go to MOA, and most times I'm fine. Either if I'm with a friend or if I have, like, set things I want to do. Like, I want to go to Hot Topic, I want to go to this, and then I want to go home. But if I'm there just, with no idea, and then there's, like, millions of people there, I start to be like, okay, this is too many people. I'm uncomfortable. I need to leave. And, my anxiety really kicks up in important decisions too. I'm considering the second job, and I'm like, all right, here's all the benefits. But then there's that little part of my brain, the anxiety, where anxiety kicks in. And it's like, well, what if you don't get the job? What if they say no? Then I start, basically, my brain starts focusing more on the negatives than the positives. And that's pretty much what my anxiety is like. And so, a lot of people think that like anxiety and depression can just be like, hey, why don't you just try being happy? Or why don't you just relax? Like, no, you can't just relax. Like, somebody who's having an anxiety attack, you cannot just tell them to calm down. Like, you need to, like, get them out of the room, or you need to find a better way, because telling them to calm down is not going to solve anything. It's going to make it worse. And depression, most people think, like, oh, just take some medicine or just try to be happy. Like, no, it's not that simple. Like, a lot of times depression, a lot of it, it's mostly mental, because it's a mental imbalance. But it can be physical, too. Like, you can physically feel drained and just brought down. And most people think, oh, just, try to be happy. Like, it's not that simple. That's not how it works. Like, you can't just be, majorly depressed and think of something happy and all of a sudden everything's better. Like, our brains don't get to that quick. People with depression, our brains don't process that quickly. It takes a step. So what people need to do when people are, having breakdowns like that, just like, don't tell them to try to be happy. Just all you really need to do, because most of the time there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do instead of make them feel better. You just gotta kind of wait for them to come back up. But still, people need to learn that when somebody's having a breakdown like that, just, stay by them, comfort them, tell them that, you're there for them and it's gonna be okay. Because most people, like, and if it's really serious, get help, because that's how a lot of suicides happen. And I'm not saying like all suicides, but a lot of people with depression commit suicide because they hit that low, and a lot of times there's either nobody there to help them, or nobody reaches them in time to help, or people are just driving them to that point. That's why I'm glad there's something like the suicide prevention hotline that you call or text this number, and you got somebody on the other line whose job it is to bring you back down and keep you from taking your own life. Because frankly, suicide is not the answer. It's never the answer. Because why would you think that taking your own life is going to make everything better? If you take your own life, you're only making other people's lives worse. Because you got family, you have loved ones. You take your own life, you're taking yourself away from them, from like everybody who loves you. And I honestly, like, there's every so often, like, I hit that low, and I never go through with it. I never go through with anything, but I always think, I think of ways to off myself, but eventually once TH brings me down and I like recollect myself, I remember that, life is worth living. And, if I go, who is going to be affected by this? Like, my friends, my family, coworkers. There's, like, if I take my own life, there's, like, so many people that I'm going to impact, or that, no, impact is the wrong word. Well, if I take my own life, then I'm taking myself away from everybody else, and I don't want that. I don't want everybody's lives to worsen because I think mine is bad. And the best advice I can give is that life is never as bad as it seems. Like, honestly, if you get to a point where you're just like why is life worth living? Why does it have to be like this? Just remember that, that's just today. All it is a bad day. Like, tomorrow might be better. Tomorrow might even be the best day of your life. But you just gotta remember that tomorrow's another day. It's not worth it to take your own life, because it's not worth it to give up because of one day, or over time. Yes, but just, that's another thing. Like, mental abuse can cause depression too, and just, yeah, I remember, like, if that's happening year after year, instead of just hitting that low, seek out help. Like, you got friends you can turn to, family you can turn to, and there's professionals. Like the people at the Suicide Prevention Hotline, or there's other professionals. The people who get paid, it's their job to make sure that you keep on living, and that you keep a positive outlook on life. And I think that's what people really need to understand, that depression is just not as simplified as they think it is. It's not just feeling sad. It's not just not being happy. It's physically and emotionally draining. It's not feeling like you're worth anything. But if you have depression, like I do, seek out help. Like for me, I always seek out, like, I always find Kate, I always find friends, I always, and this is kind of therapy for me too. Like, I'm doing this video, talking about it. It's, it helps to talk about it. So I really suggest, if, just talk to somebody about it. If you're suffering from depression or anxiety, just talk about it. I know it's not easy to talk about. It's never easy to talk about, but just start from something. Just, find someone who will listen. Like a friend, a family member, and just talk about it. Because I believe that's the first step to, make yourself feel better in recovery. It's just, talk about it. So what I'm basically trying to kind of end this on a point, just like I said, anxiety and depression is not as simplified as you think it is, and there's a lot more to it. I suggest, if a loved one of yours is suffering from depression or anxiety, just, do some research, look it up, and see what it's like. Don't look at what, like the media or what doctors say it is. Look at people with personal experiences, look at people's personal experiences with it. And then, you'll understand what it's like. And yeah, I just, like I said, tomorrow's another day. You just gotta, you always gotta look on the bright side of life. And so with that, I really hope this video helped you out, and please share it and pass it on. And since I'm putting this on YouTube, I'm gonna be that douche and say like, comment, and subscribe for more. Well, yeah. I'm sorry, this is kind of a longer video, but I really need to get this off my chest and get this out there. So, until next time, bye-bye.